first of all want to start by just thanking all of you for being here and for so many of you signing up on the website, being here to raise funds for the park, for the Little Spirits Garden. We really, really appreciate that. I want to thank Astrid Brown for agreeing to MC and lead the walk today. She's been a tremendous advocate for the garden from when we first got in contact with her just over a year or so ago. I'm not going to say too much here today. I think what I'm really here to do is to say thank you. And there's so many people that I could thank today and introduce today. But I want to thank Paul McKivitt and Lindsay McRae from the Saanich Legacy Foundation. Lindsay organized this walk and has been doing a tremendous amount of fundraising work in the background for it. So I want to thank her and Paul and the Saanich Legacy Foundation for their support, and they deserve what they can for help. I want to point out Bill Peckett and Joe Daly. They're just over here. And they're the two designers that designed the garden for us, and they deserve a big round of applause. They, from what started as a very simple memorial, just became this amazing, very special place, and much of the credit for the atmosphere that's created in here and the memorial options that we have for everybody goes to them for sure. So thank you. And they're both going to be here to answer questions. If you have any questions, they're going to talk about the ceremonial pedestal and the pavilion there where ceremonies can be held and scattering can take place. And so they'll be here. Feel free to ask them questions, lots of questions. But I want to take this opportunity today to thank three people, because they're the three people that are here that we're probably standing here today. And they've kept my feet to the fire for 5 to 8 years. And that is Jill Davern from the Victoria General Hospital Maternity Services, Karen Wilson from Victoria General Hospital as a chaplain, and Lorraine from our office here. The three of them came to me a number of years ago and said we need a place for these moms and dads and families to come and remember and have a special place of their own. And from the conversations with the three of them, we came to this moment today. So please give them a big round of applause. And as most of you know, or some of you may know, October 15th is recognized around the world as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Day. And we will be having a more formal dedication ceremony for the garden on that day. But I made a commitment to Lorraine and to Jill and to Karen that I would have this garden open by July. So that's why we're here. So we've achieved that, and I think I'm just going to turn things over now to Jill. She has a few minutes.
Wow, you all came. Fantastic. Welcome. I was asked to say just a few words, and so I thought I'd start by telling you who I am if you don't know already. So I'm the maternity services social worker at the Victoria General Hospital, and so what part of my job is, the best part, is to come and meet with families who are experiencing pregnancy or infant loss. And it really is truly an honor to walk with you, those of you who I know, and those of you who I might meet at some point, through this journey, because it is really truly a time where nothing makes sense, and it's the most vulnerable moment probably in your lives. So it is really truly an honor to be in that position, to be able to do that with you. And Stephen stole some of my thunder around who I wanted to thank, because there's a lot of people that went into this, but most importantly, it's the people standing in the crowd, and one in particular who I see, who I haven't seen for a very long time, and I wanted to say hi to Rachel and a shout out to Rachel. Rachel Hussein is walking today for Benjamin, and she has created an amazing program, again keeping my feet to the fire at the hospital. She not only started the Empty Arms support group with Heather, I believe, and then that's continued on, and I see all the pink shirts, and that's just fabulous, and who you're walking for today. But you also started the program for Benjamin boxes at the hospital, and that's in your effort to remember Benjamin, and mine too, and just keeping that memory of him alive and going. And so Benjamin boxes are they're groupings of things that Rachel thought would have been very, very helpful to her, for her to have at the hospital when she had Benjamin, that of course we didn't have. Things like real Kleenex. God help us at the hospital, we don't have real Kleenex. Things like a place to write things down, because you forget things so quickly. And a letter from somebody else who's gone through a loss, because nobody truly can understand that unless you really have gone through. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you for coming, and for coming all this way. And again, you know, not to go over what Stephen said, but Paul, thank you for seeing the vision and helping us to make this happen. Lindsay, for not, where is Lindsay? Right there. Okay. Hiding in the background. I know you've been knocking on doors till your fingers bleed and making this happen. Getting checks from people, crying probably oceans of tears from all the stories that you've heard. And just simply being brave enough to be the face of this project. That is often the thing that helps people to come to it and to be connected to it. And you've been brave enough to do that, so thank you. My partner in crime, Karen, where are you? She snuck off, darn it. Okay, Karen Wilson, who's our chaplain at the hospital, who, when I have cried my ocean of tears myself, she finds words out of thin air, and she's just extraordinary. And she was the one who kept reminding me, along with you all, to keep feet to the fire, keep thinking about this project, keep thinking about a place, because that is truly the next step. And of course Lorraine, who she and I continue to connect over the phone repeatedly about where are we now, who can we talk to, how can we make this happen for both our ends. And then the architects, you guys, you've taken all our thoughts and feelings and everything that we've collected from all our families and created this beautiful place. I really do thank you for that. And lastly, but not least importantly, Stephen, who managed all our personalities. There might have been some tense moments, but we worked through it, and we really did come through as a team. And it was really your voices that did this. So I know you only asked me to say a few words, but I've still got a bunch of pages here, so I'm going to work through it, okay, and cut and edit. Okay. So the goal of this was to talk about what Little Spirits Garden would mean to the families. And I thought, you know, what the heck can it possibly mean to everyone? Because everybody does this so differently. Everybody thinks about it so differently. And to some, it will mean absolutely everything. And to some, it'll mean something later, because we all do this so differently. What families have mostly asked me for when they can't have the most important thing, which is their well, healthy baby in their arms, is they're afraid of forgetting. And they don't want to forget their baby's perfectly shaped fingernails, her long toes, how her little ears were exactly like her father's, and both parents agreed in that particular situation, poor little thing. But most importantly, they don't want to forget their baby was here, and how much their baby is loved, even today. I thought of words like legacy, tenacious remembrance, and unending love. And then I remembered who I'd be speaking with today, and I remembered that you guys are the most brave and courageous people that I think I've ever met. And you'll understand when I say that I can't find the words today, other than what we're sharing here together, to remember and to love our little ones who aren't here. Because really that's what this is about, is you remember and you love. And this is what this is about, to help you to do that in any way. To be honest, I really struggled with the words to use today. Whenever speaking about this kind of loss, it's really hard, because the only option is to talk genuinely and directly from my heart. And that's not generally how we talk in real life anymore. We talk quite superficially, so please forgive me, because that's how I plan to talk today. When trying to advertise for this event, I put up a poster and somebody would see my social work tag, because it was usually at work or someplace I was coming from after work, and then they would come up and just have a spontaneous conversation about their loss that they had any time ago, 5, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, and we'd have this lovely conversation, and then off they'd go, and they'd know about the walk today. Maybe you're here today. But it just reminded me again and again that this kind of loss touches everybody at some level. My aunt jokes she had a loss around 47 years ago, and I never knew until about 3 years ago. We were having dinner, Christmas dinner in fact, and I started talking about this program and this project, and she started talking about little Daniel. And I had no idea. And I think that's the sad part, is we don't know. It isn't something we talk about. 40 years ago, it was something that we just, you had your baby, forget, move on, rush, baby somewhere else. You never know where the baby's going to go. And I think that's part of the loss of the older generations too, is we don't know where our babies went. So that's another commitment here, to know, to have a spot for those families who don't know where their babies are, to have a spot here if they need them. Sorry, I'm really off chart here, but I'm speaking from my heart. It's hard to read words too. So I continue to learn over and over again, as I'm sure you guys do, that there are all kinds of families around us that continue to have this kind of loss at all different levels. It's really hard to know what to say, how to say, because everybody's experiencing this so differently. And that's why I'm kind of hoping that with all the different options to remember here, be it a spirit house, be it a place to scatter ashes if you just haven't had the right time or place to do that, be it a cedar tag to write a remembrance or a thought or a feeling, or maybe it's just a quiet place to come to think and to remember and to love. And that's what Little Spirits Garden is really all about. So I'll stop talking now. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just enjoy. This is your spot to come and remember and love.
You say where's that Kleenex?
Right here.
All right, we're good. We're good. This is one of these amazing emotional places where we really think. So thank you to everyone who's made this place possible, because it will make all of us think and feel. And we haven't even walked in there and we're already doing that. Okay, let's move on with our program. I want to introduce you to an amazing woman, a lady who has inspired me in so many ways without even knowing it. Her name is Leslie Hall. She is also known as Mark's mom. And she's another one of the leaders who helped to bring this garden to reality. Leslie is going to come up here to say a blessing before we enter the garden. So Leslie, come on up. Welcome. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. The Little Spirits Garden is a sacred place. A place where we can come to pay tribute to the many sweet little lives that were taken too soon. I heard about the plans for our baby memorial over 5 years ago, just after our son Mark died. At that time, I felt supported and validated as a grieving parent. I have watched this garden evolve since the breaking of ground over a year ago, and have noticed the incredible care and attention that has gone into this place. I never could have imagined this amazing garden. It feels peaceful, feels special, feels like a place that we could come to be by ourselves, but not feel alone. It's a place where we can cry, and a place where we can smile. This garden reflects a united community of families that need a place that will give them some peace and a place to remember. May we all find peace in this beautiful garden. May we all share in a community of people who know what it's like to lose a sweet baby. May we all find comfort in the love we have for our children. The Little Spirits Garden is a very special gift for all of us and to our community. We are grateful. Thank you.
So we're just about to wrap up, and it feels like today we're turning our garden over to you, the families that it really belongs to. And before we do that, I do have a couple of practical things I have to tell you. There are a number of different options in terms of memorialization. We have some handouts here that will sort of go over that. In meeting the promise to have the garden ready today, I will freely admit that some of this hasn't been thought through completely, and if there's a little bit of confusion today, please blame me. That's me, but Lorraine and Pam and Joe and Bill are gonna help us out here. A couple of really important things. If you want a permanent memorial of the Little Spirit House, it's really important that you speak to Lorraine, and she's going to be over here at the desk, and she's going to be taking names and contact information, and we'll be able to coordinate with you in terms of the permanent installation of the house. There are some houses here today if you want to take and place them and take some moment of quiet reflection. But whatever you do, please make sure you talk to Lorraine about your house and what you want to do. And it might be a little bit busy at first, but just bear with us as we take the information. And other than that, Joe and Bill are going to be here. There's a lot of the win notes here. I want to thank the families that got together and on their own that put so many of the win notes together. That was just a tremendous. Turns out they were a lot of work, more work than we imagined. So, but they turned out beautifully. So I want to thank them. So this is your place, and thank you again for being here. And I think now is the time just to come in and just explore the garden and find your spot and find your place and take it all in. Thank you all again. Thank you.